music. The psalmist wrote, Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, sing to God a new song. Jews had a hard time with that. We somehow feel more comfortable with old songs. But there are a few among us who really took that with some seriousness. And one of the ones who did was Aminadav Aloni. Ami Aloni was born in 1928 in Israel, studied at the Technion, and then came home from school one day when he was a little kid, having listened to a movie with a wonderful score, sat down at the family piano and proceeded to play the whole score by ear. Family knew that he had some special abilities. He came to New York, began to study music, went to Juilliard to study piano, came to Los Angeles, and began composing music for movies, television. And while he was composing movies, television music, he was discovered by Cantor Sam Fortis of blessed memory, who was the cantor here since 1958. And Cantor Fortis invited him to come and to be his accompanist, and from accompanist he became the music director of the congregation. Ami had a deep roots in traditional Jewish music, in the melodies of Israel, the melodies of Eastern Europe, the melodies of the Jewish East. And he took what he knew about contemporary music and took the themes of traditional Jewish music and he blended them together, created a number of remarkable pieces. When I first came to this synagogue, one of the most lovely things you could do was to call Valley Beth Shalom, and if you were lucky, the receptionist put you on hold, because the music that they played on hold was Ami's Hallel. Hallel is that wonderful set of prayers and psalms that are recited on Jewish days of special celebration, Jewish days of redemption. And Ami's Hallel is a suite, it's a continuous piece of music, marvelously sung. Dr. Braun is with us. He sings lead on most of these by the VBS choir and by Dr. Braun. And if they put you on hold, I would wait on hold. And when the operator said, we'll be right with you, I said, no, take your time. You know, I remember once Rabbi Schulweiss got on the line and I said, put me back on hold. I just wanted to hear the end of the piece because it was so wonderful. His work became part of the legacy of this congregation. And not just this congregation, but it was diffused by cantors all across the country, all across the world. It became part of the repertoire of Jewish congregations all across the world. There are these melodies, you know, that we all sing, and we forget that somebody wrote these melodies. So many of Ami's melodies have become the melodies of the Jewish people. Tonight we're going to celebrate his wonderful creativity and the wonderful creative addition of our friend Chris Hardin, who's our music director. You know, in Jewish tradition, when you have a holy text, you don't just revere that holy text, you write a commentary to the holy text, because the commentary to the holy text makes the holy text contemporary. Rashi is the great commentator on the Bible, and Chris Hardin is the great commentary on Ami Aloni, who has taken the holy text of Ami's music and made it contemporary, made it live again for our generation. So to Chris, our congratulations on wonderful work. A special welcome to the VBS choir, who looks delicious tonight. Thank you for coming. And to all of you, and to Cantor Phil Barron, gentlemen of the band. I'll ask everyone to rise, please. Turn to the folks beside you and wish them good Shabbos and welcome. You have a Shalom Aleichem, or is this special Shalom Aleichem? So now put your arms about your friends and draw them close. If you're sitting by yourself, move up and find a really nice smelling Jew from Tarzana that you can stand next to, because that's the best part of the service.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Malachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Hu Nil Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzeitzchem l'shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch
So stay right where you are. Just stay right where you are. When I was a little kid, there was a great tzaddik named Leonard Bernstein, who was the conductor of the New York Philharmonic Orchestra, which was way above my head. But on Saturday afternoons, Lenny Bernstein did children's concerts, which were broadcast on CBS. And my mother wanted us to have a little culture. So she'd call us in, sit us down, and said, watch this. And we watched it and fell in love. One of Bernstein's concerts was about jazz. Jazz, he said, first of all, the word jazz is an Arabic word. And it comes from the idea that there was an 8-tone European scale, right? Play me an 8-tone European scale. Right, that's the use of. But in Africa, they played it differently. In Africa, they played a 12-tone scale with things called quarter tones, in between the tones that we have. And from Africa, that music migrated to the Middle East. And in the Middle East, it became standard music, which is why cantorial music sounds a lot like jazz. Because what came to be African music and came to America with Africans, brought here first by slaves and then freed and made American music, was the same root of Middle Eastern music that became cantorial music, brought here by cantors who came from Europe by way of the Middle East. Jazz, an American music rooted in the oldest music in the world. Tonight, Ami's jazz service, his tribute to the American tradition of jazz and its ancient Middle Eastern roots. A little different than the music you're used to davening in shul, but really quite wonderful. Ready?
Not yet, not yet, not yet.
Sitting
Very
tonight.
soon.
Very soon.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Lehadlik v'tzivanu Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Now you can sit. Page 21 in your Siddur.
Shamor v'zachor v'diborecha Ishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shem u'l'tiferet v'li tehillah Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki mekor ha'beracha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh v'machshava tchila Shalom ateret bala Gam b'simcha u'tzola Toch emunei am segula Boi chala Aloni likrat galaf b'nei Shabbat Nikabla lecha likrat galaf b'nei Shabbat Nikabla lecha likrat galaf b'nei Shabbat Nikabla
Rabbi, it's not Jewish. It's not Jewish. Jazz isn't supposed to be played in a synagogue. Jazz is supposed to be played in a dark, smoky cafe with people of questionable morals and cheap wine. The cheap wine we have, by the way. What's Jewish music? What's Jewish music? If you listen to the Jewish music most of us were raised on, it sounds remarkably Eastern European. If you're from Iran, from Persia, the music that Ashkenazim listen to is not Jewish music, it's Eastern European music. And if you're from Eastern Europe and you listen to the music that Jews from Iraq and Egypt and Iran listen to, you'll say that's not Jewish music, that's Arabic sounding music. And if you listen to music of Jews from Denmark and from Holland, it sounds really different than Jews from Italy. We assimilated, I know that's a tough word, but assimilated in a good way. We stole the musical traditions of the peoples among whom we lived and made them our own. In Eastern Europe, we took Eastern European melodies. You all know this melody. Bum 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 bum. You all know that melody? What is that one? It's Hatikva, but what is it really? It's the Moldau by. It's a Central European folk song that we borrowed. And made into the national anthem of the people of the state of Israel. And the same thing with all of our melodies. The most original melody in all of and I'll be quiet in a minute, let you play, but I have the chance to talk about this stuff. The most original melody of all of them is by actually Kol Nidre. Kol Nidre, Be'asareh, Vecharameh is the oldest Jewish melody still sung It doesn't quite sound European. It's actually Babylonian. And because the melody was so good, even though the words make no sense, we still have the prayer today. That's the oldest melody. We took that from ancient Babylonian chants. We've always borrowed music. And that's what's Jewish. What's Jewish is that you can borrow music. So here is Aloni in 1977 in Southern California, and he borrows the traditions of jazz to create a service that's jazz. And here's what's wonderful. By the time your grandchildren hear this music, they're going to think this is Jewish music, because that's how it goes, generation to generation. Are you ready? Please rise together.
Page 28.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam vaed.
Oh, sing unto our God a new song. Oh, sing unto our God all the earth.
Praise be our God, to whom all praise is due. Praise be our God, to whom all praise is due. Praise be our God, praise be our God forever and ever and ever and ever. Praise be our God, to whom all praise is due. Praise be our God, to whom all praise is due. Praise be our God, praise be our God forever and ever and ever and ever. Praise be our God, to whom all praise is due. Praise be our God, to whom all praise is due. Praise be our God, praise be our God forever and ever and ever and ever. Praise be our God, to whom all praise is due. Praise be our God, to whom all praise is due. Praise be our God, praise be our God forever and ever 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 and ever.
You may be seated.
Phil, come here for a second. So, great American composer Ira and George Gershwin loved American music and traveled the country listening to American music. Now, some of the music they grew up with, two Jewish boys from New York.
Father was a Cantor.
Father was a chazan. Ira and George were writing Porgy and Bess, and they needed a theme. It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. And he's on the ledge right outside on the fire escape was a little Melamed teaching a bar mitzvah boy how to sing the Haftorah and getting ready for his bar mitzvah. So George hears the chazan sing,
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach. It ain't necessarily so.
Baruch
Hu et Adonai Hamvorach. It ain't necessarily. Sounds like a hit to me, Ira.
The Gershwins traveled America. They went to the South, and they would find themselves in small African-American churches. And in those churches, they heard something which they'd never heard before. They heard this spontaneous shout of prayer. Now, you're all good suburban American Jews. You're very sophisticated, and you're very hung up, and you're very reserved, and it would take a lot of cheap wine to get you to pray well. But somehow in the African American church, people let go because they know that life is fragile, and they know that life is a gift, and they know that life is a gift of God. And if they have a chance to say, thank you, God, for the gift of life, it flows out of them quite naturally. That's what music in prayer really does. It finds that theme in us and pulls it out. So you heard this theme, thank you, God, for the gifts of life, for the blessings of life, for the blessings of friendship, for the blessings of freedom, for all the blessings, and let it flow a little bit. Are you ready? You got to pretend you're an African American church, right? And let it flow a little bit. That's what this prayer is. Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash, said the psalmist. Let the music flow, because the music is the ultimate praise of a God of life. Please.
Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'en, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari v'ravim, avat olam Beit Yisrael amcham. Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu, u'ahem nege yomam v'layla, v'avatecha al tasir mimenu leolamim, Baruch atah Aloni, ohev amo Yisrael. On page 30, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
Praise be his name, whose glorious kingdom is forever and ever.
You shall love the Lord your God with all your might. You shall love the Lord your God with all your strength. You shall love the Lord your God with all your being. You shall love the Lord your God. You shall love the Lord your God.
Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gate. Page 32. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ובני ישראל לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו בוקע ים לפני משה ענו ואמרו מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה ענו ואמרו Inhale, everyone. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom Ve'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shalomecha V'taknenu Be'etzah Tova Milfanecha Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shalomecha V'hoshienu Leman Shemecha V'hagein ba'adeinu V'chaser me'aleinu Oyev dever V'cherev v'ra'a V'yagon V'hagein ba'adeinu V'chaser satan milfaneinu me'achareinu Uv'tzeil kenafecha tastirenu Ki el shomreinu u'matzilenu ata Ki el melech Chanun v'rachumata Ushmor Seiteinu Voenu L'chaim u'l'shalom me'ata v'yad olam Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shalomecha Baruch atah Adonai Haporeis Sukkot Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael Ve'al Page 34.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat La'asot et haShabbat Ledorotam berit olam B'ni uvein b'nei Yisrael Ot hi le'olam Ki sheshet yomim asa Adonai Et hashamayim Ve'et ha'aretz Uvayom hashvihi Uvayom hashvihi Shavat Vayinafash Shavat Vayinafash ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וניב בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש
And please rise. Bottom of page 34. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach yirutzei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon v'yomechon U'chayei rechol beit Yisrael Baga U'vizman karim v'yimavu Yehei shmei V'yitbahar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitador v'yithalal Shemei nekudesha b'richu La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Toshvechata v'nechemata Damiran b'yalma Take a few moments of silent prayer. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei בחייכם וביומכם ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן, יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשא, בריחו לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תוש ברכתה ונחמתה, דאמירן מעלמה ואמרו, תקבל צלעות הון וברוך כל ישראל קודם, אבן משמיה ואמרו, יהי שלום רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו, עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. Maestro?
Before we get to the maestro, let's introduce the musicians. On drums, M.B. Gordy, and on bass, Bart Simolis. Thank you for being with us tonight. The music director, Chris Hardin, who arranged all of this, and Cantor Phil Barron. Now, the tradition is that when someone offers a prayer, you're not supposed to clap because you're here praising God, not praising the performer. But if the performer puts his heart and soul into it, you can't help but clap. So thanks so much. A few of Aloni's songs, right?
When Ami wrote his jazz service, he also incorporated some music for Saturday as well, like Etz Chaim al Shlosha Devarim. So we've taken 3 of these pieces that were in this service, and we're going to do them as sort of a standalone concert portion of the service. They're not meant to be for the Friday night service, if you will. Ami covered many different styles of music. He was incredibly eclectic. These 3 we're going to do is one's a barbershop, one's just down-home blues, and the third one, you'll recognize where it's from when you hear it. Let's start with the barbershop.
Congregational,
We are about to do the Kiddush. Now, this is going to be an as-if Kiddush, unless someone out there has a bottle of Manischewitz stashed on them somewhere. We don't seem to have a glass of wine tonight. Check the band. Yeah. There is wine? Oh, it is. Okay, great. And ask you all to please rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu B'shabbat kodsho v'yahavav ratzon hinchilanu Zikaron למעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים קיבלנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת Please remain standing. שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ יום אהובה יום אהובה יום אהובה Bayom hahu, bayom hahu, bayom hahu, bayom hahu, bayom hahu, bayom hahu, bayom hahu.
Too much. Too much. Far out. There are those among us, even tonight, in the midst of all this joy, who remember loved ones, observe yahrzeit, who call to mind the ones we love. The words of the Mourner's Kaddish you'll find in the prayer book on page 52, 53, 54, 50, it's in here someplace. 52, right. Page 52. We'll ask those who recite the Kaddish to remain standing a moment. It's a custom in our community that if you're seated near someone who seems to be standing alone, we'll ask you to stand up with them so that nobody needs to mourn or grieve alone when friends are present. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'yalma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agalau v'zman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam me'omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'reichu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechamata damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav v'yaseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Please be seated. Once again, our very special thanks to music director Chris Hardin, to the members of the VBS choir, the gentlemen in the band, and to Cantor Phil Barron for sharing with us the genius, the wonderful imagination of the great composer Aloni, and a wonderful service tonight. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much. And to all of you, Shabbat Shalom. Glad to have you in shul. Now, I know you're thinking, how can we do this some more? So here's what you do. Don't leave. Stay here all night. Because tomorrow morning we do this all over again. Tomorrow we're going to continue our celebration of Yom HaAtzmaut. At 9 o'clock in the morning we'll gather in the Weiner Chapel, which is back there for Torah study. And tomorrow we're going to be reading the thoughts and philosophy of the great philosopher David Hartman. So please join us for that. And then in the morning at 9:30 and 10 o'clock, there are going to be two services in the building. In this room, the Neshama Minyan, a beautiful musical and spiritual minyan, will be meeting. Everyone is welcome. And in the sanctuary service, the library minyan will be conducting a traditional service. You're welcome to join either one of them. Our guest tomorrow is Rachel Korazin, who is simply the most wonderful, passionate, and insightful teacher of Hebrew literature in the world. And Rachel will be teaching during the Neshama Minyan. And then when service is over at about noon, we'll stop and have some lunch, have some bagels and some tuna salad, and gather at 12:30 back in this room for a second lecture with Rachel on the inner life of Israeli society as reflected in its poetry and in its literature. Everyone's invited. You don't have to speak Hebrew. It's all in translation. And she's a wonderful teacher. It's a wonderful way to understand Israel and not just to celebrate. So come back tomorrow for music and prayer and learning all together. Any other announcements? That's tomorrow. There's lots of other things going on after that, but let's start with that. I want to wish everybody a very welcome, very good Shabbos. We have an Adon Olam. Why don't you all stand up?
אחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוא נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא והוא אחד ועם שני והמשילו להפירה ולי ראשית ולי תכלית ולא העוז והמזרח אדון עולם אשר מלך טרם כל יציר נברא והוא לי וחי גואלי וצורכם לי ביצרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקראי אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא ויענוב כי רוחי והייתי שם ויהירה ועם רוחי גבייתי אדוני לי בלא יראה
In the hall you'll find some cookies. Yai-diddy-di-diddy-di-diddy-di. Enjoy them all in honor of Shabbos. Yai-diddy-di-diddy-di-diddy-di. Be careful when you drive your car tonight. There are Jews out there celebrating Yom HaAtzmaut. Adonai lama sher malach.
בטרם כל יציר נברא יתנסה ונפסר כל
Shabbat Shalom.